I had a couple things in my prep for class one that I wanted to share with you. One is that the team-based learning method of learning will definitely exercise your ability to work on your own, preparing for assessments. There's plenty of individual work for the course, and you'll get better at that. But something somewhat unique to team-based learning is we're going to spend a lot of time learning how to work effectively as a team member, and that's not easy for all of us and take some practice. So we're going to give that a lot of our attention, and you'll get a lot of practice and you'll get really good at it. And when we talk to employers, they list what they'd like students to know. Number one on the list always is employers want people that can work effectively in teams. And employers are going to tell you what team to be on, and they're going to expect you to work out your own problems. And hopefully you don't have any problems this semester. But if you do, I have similar expectations. I can help facilitate, but you're going to have to figure it out. Gives you a lot of good practice that will come in handy through your life and your career. The other activities that I had several activities to do, two more activities that I wanted you to do. And first, I wanted you to think as individuals and then as teams. There was a report form for this activity too. What is the most important area of learning? And when you ask people to think about this, you get a scattering of answers. And it's because, facts, principles, concepts, they're really important. Knowing how to apply those is really important. And having lifelong learning skills. So what you don't know, you could teach yourself. Most of your life is going to be spent not in school. Hard to believe now you've been in school almost your whole life since you were 5, but most of your life is not in school, and you got to teach yourself a lot. And so having that curiosity and the ability to satisfy it on using the resources at your disposal is a key skill. So you get a spread of answers, and that's fine. That's just a build up to this next activity. And the next activity asks you to think individually and then to talk out as a group which area of learning should be emphasized in class. And here you see much less dispersion. The getting information, learning facts, principles, concepts, that's really, stuff you can do on your own. It's, there's a definition, you read it, you take some notes, so you remember it. That you don't need that feedback. You don't need that opportunity to express your understanding, get feedback, revise your understanding, hear from an expert. That's what you need for more deep level of understanding, for deeper levels of understanding. And so learning how to use and apply information and knowledge in new situations, that's where you need that social context where it can really vault your understanding to be much higher than otherwise. And so typically teams coalesce on B. These activities set up my expectation in the course that you'll be working hard to get the descriptive knowledge on your own ahead of class, and then we can use class to learn how to use and apply it intelligently and in new contexts. So that's a really important part of what we're going to be doing together in this course. The rest of the class, I wanted to talk to you about the six effective learning practices. Rereading the textbook is not a great study practice. Reading it at the beginning, definitely part of the drill, but the retrieval practice, the elaboration, there's 6 of these principles. They're too small for me to read them. Oh, there they are. Retrieval practices when you are remembering and working with something you learned a while back. The more you do that, the deeper that pathway in your brain is etched, and the easier you'll remember that. Spaced practice, cramming the night before the exam might help for the exam, but you're not going to remember that stuff. If you spread out that retrieval practice over time, you'll remember things a lot better. So doing all that work at the beginning of the module gives you the ability to spend the next 2 or 3 or 6 weeks practicing with that and you'll really know it and remember it come exam time and later in your life. Dual coding, both pictures and text can help. We'll do a lot of pictures in the way of graphs. Interleaving, don't study all of one subject and then move to the next. Study this concept a little bit, that concept a little bit, the other concept, then mix in some of this, some of that, some of the other. Mix it around. It exercises your brain. It's harder. When it's harder, you retain it better after the fact. And then concrete examples will be, that's what we're about, is concrete examples. We apply this knowledge to situations in the economy over and over again. Have a little video in the prep. It's worth your time. Basically goes through those habits. And then I had a reminder that we were going to be going over the syllabus in more detail on Thursday. One thing that's a little subtle, I have a few links in the syllabus. I don't expect you to follow all of them, but that TBL description, the core and major student learning objectives, and the CAS policies are the 3 links that I do expect you to follow, read, and take notes.